The holiday season has arrived, which means it's time for amusement parks to be decked out in lights and dusted with snow. But not every park is that lucky. Some of the Christmas theme parks were actually abandoned. What happened to them? Let's look at the story behind them. Santa's Village, California. In California, even in December, you can barely say that it is winter. So they brought winter to them in the form of a Christmas-themed park called Santa's Village that spanned 15 acres. Opened more than a month before Disneyland in 1955, this theme park near Lake Arrowhead was something right out of a Winter Wonderland storybook. With a bobsled, a Ferris wheel, live reindeer, and kiddie rides, this park quickly became one of Southern California's favorite tourist spots. It also had a toy shop, a bakery, and Mrs. Claus's kitchen. The park was filled with whimsy and joy, truly making it a place of magic. It had life-size gingerbread homes, a big old sleigh, giant candy canes, painted concrete toadstools, which were supposed to be the house of the elves, and even fake Christmas trees. One unique thing about the park was that inside it, no money was used. Instead, passport tickets were used that would log the expenses of each person. Before they left, they would have to pay for it. The founder had come up with this idea to keep the myth of Santa alive for the kids. In short, Santa's Village was Christmas in park form. Unfortunately, due to falling attendance and revenue, the park had to close its doors in 1988. It was sold to a lumber company after that, and the place was used for logging operations, such as storing and processing timber. But many of the famous structures, such as the Good Witch's Bakery, Santa's House, and the Chapel of the Little Shepherd, remained standing. These abandoned structures created a sense of nostalgia for fans, and they were eagerly waiting for the park to reopen. In 2014, it seemed like their dreams were going to come true. The park was sold to an independent investor, and it was reopened as Sky Park at Santa's Village. 18 of the original Santa's Village buildings were renovated for Sky Park, and it opened as a year-round outdoor adventure park. It features activities such as ziplining, mountain biking, hiking, fly fishing, archery, rock climbing, and several open-air activities. At the core of Sky Park is the Village, which has many historic log cabin restaurants and shops. The park also has many festive activities such as the Silver Bells Arena, which is an outdoor skating pond, and Santa's Workshop and Post Office, where you get to post letters to Santa and watch the elves at work. It is a truly magical Christmas experience with a dash of adventure sports thrown in. Park Albanoel, Brazil. When we think of a Christmas-themed park, we picture snow and joy and brilliant lights. Well, Park Albanoel in Itaguai, Brazil is here to burst all of those myths, because this Christmas-themed park, it is the stuff of nightmares. The brainchild of beloved Brazilian politician Antonio Albano Reis, this park was on its way to becoming one of the largest theme attractions of Brazil. He envisaged it as a park that would have a variety of attractions in various themes and genres, including a Santa-themed park in honor of himself. He was lovingly known as the Santa Claus of Quintino due to his penchant for dressing up as Santa every Christmas. The entire area of the park was equivalent to 460 football field and was going to contain an entire Old West town, a concert hall, many water slides, and even a replica of Christ the Redeemer. Located just along the coast of Rio de Janeiro, it would have been an amazing attraction, if not for the tragedy that struck it. A couple of years after work began on the park, Reis tragically died in an automobile accident mere meters from the park. Work on the park was halted. Out of all of the attractions, only the Santa Park had been completed. Despite its unfinished state, the park opened to the public for a few years. But without Reis, Albanoel fell victim to internal struggles and bureaucratic problems and was left to decay. Today, it sits covered in rust, and what was meant to evoke joy only evokes feelings of eeriness. While driving to Rio de Janeiro, you might spot this park in all its spooky glory. First, there are not one, not two, but an entire gang of Santas lying abandoned and surrounded by undergrowth. Then you will spot the faded candy cane, rusted slides, and an abandoned spook house. There are also snow-white reindeer that seem to have gathered an unwanted coat of dust and dirt. Another group of the reindeer seem to be pulling an empty sleigh, and they look suspended in time. If you peer through the windows of some of the structures, you will even find old beat-up Christmas trees and statues turned upside down. All of this gives an ominous, haunting feeling of wrongness. It is almost as if some witch flicked her wand and turned a joyful place into a place of eeriness. To add on to the creepiness, the greenery in the park seems to thrive. There's even a waterfall. Ironically, this park has gained popularity due to its abandoned state and has become a tourist attraction for those that enjoy the macabre. But before you make plans to visit, it is worth knowing that this park is also being used as an airsoft battleground. So not only will you run into creepy Santas, you might even run into men in combat gear holding guns. Santa's Land, Vermont. Deep in the woods of Putney, Vermont, there once existed a holiday theme park called Santa's Land. Opened in 1957, it was a reconstruction of Santa's Arctic home and offered visitors a chance to step into a winter wonderland forest filled with whimsy and magic. Modeled after Santa's village at the North Pole, this park sprawled over 42 acres of land and was a Storyland park meant to appeal to children. It had fake snow covering cottages and buildings, picnic tables for some family fun, playground swing, a gift shop which sold a lot of merchandise, from ornaments to Vermont maple products to holiday treats, and even a Santa's petting zoo with friendly goats and deer. You could take a ride on the Alpine Express train, write letters to Santa, visit the Fun House and the Ding Dong Schoolhouse, which is a little schoolroom, or go down the slides. It also had a Santa's Land arcade, an igloo pancake house, a candy cane cupboard, and buildings decked with Christmas decorations. The main attraction, however, was Santa's house. After serving joy and cheer for many families and kids for 50 years, Santa's Land closed its doors in December 2011. Even in its crumbling state, it provided a certain level of whimsy. Almost everything in the park remained untouched in its original state. All the children's letters to Santa remained unmailed, almost as if Santa left home one day and never came back. However, in 2017, a miracle happened. David Haversat, who used to regularly visit the park as a kid, was struck by nostalgia and purchased Santa's Land. He refurbished it and reopened it in November 2017. Although the park is now operational only on the weekends, Santa came back home, proving that Christmas miracles do come true. Haversat mentions that this park is magic, and maybe he's right. Now, the park features candy canes and a gingerbread family at the entrance. Many of the old attractions, such as the train ride, painted cottages, gift shop, and slides, remain the same. In addition to that, it now also has a 36-horse carousel that once belonged to Coney Island, holiday dioramas, and 3 toddler car rides. Santa's Land is definitely a magical place with its feelings of nostalgia, joy, and comfort. Santa Claus, Arizona. So far, we've looked at Christmas-themed amusement parks, but what about an entire town? In the Mojave Desert in Arizona, there lies a ghost town called Santa Claus. In the 1930s, real estate professional Nina Talbot and her husband moved to Arizona from Los Angeles. In 1937, they founded the town of Santa Claus along US Route 93. The plan was to attract more buyers to the 80 acres of land surrounding the town, as the route receives a lot of traffic. The scorching desert seems a weird place to make a home for Santa, inhabitor of the North Pole, but who could blame them for wanting to bring a little holiday cheer to the desert and attract potential buyers? The town featured many Christmas-themed buildings and became one of the most popular destinations along the road because children could meet Santa all year round. The town had a Santa Claus Inn. The town also had fairy tale-themed buildings such as a Cinderella's dollhouse and the House of the Third Little Pig, a gift shop, and the Old 1225, which was a pink children's train that had hand-painted renderings of Santa and his elves. The town also had a post office, which became very popular due to the fact that children could receive mail postmarked with the town's name in December. All in all, this holiday-themed town did become a bustling tourist location, but it did not yield the results that Talbot had imagined. It became a famous spot for weary travelers seeking rest and people wanting to get in on that holiday cheer. However, no one bought land there, and the only people living in the vicinity were local residents. Having failed in her plans to convince people to move to the desert, Talbot sold the place in 1949. Today, what remains is dilapidated buildings encrusted with sand and fake snow, styrofoam silver bells, burned-out Christmas lights, a lopsided plastic Christmas tree, overturned statues of elves and reindeer, and the memory of what once was. The pink train is infested with graffiti and rust, and the face of Santa off the front sign has been stolen. After Santa Claus closed shop, even the townspeople who lived there moved away. In 2013, the population was a mere 10 people. There's also a rumor that the entire place is overrun with poisonous rattlesnakes. This just goes to prove that not everything gold can stay. We can only hope that Santa and his elves manage to find better homes for themselves. If you like this video, consider subscribing.